to show up to work. The boss calls, we get up, throw clothes on, and head out the door, and we are expected to be there within 45 minutes, no longer. This is all extremely disappointing. We don't really know what to do in this situation.
I'm Kelly, and I also am a split Troutdale government camp. We do this striping in the summer and plow roads in the wintertime. We do get called out in the middle of the day. I happen to be on campus in the wintertime, so they call me early, they call me late. I stay on recs in the wintertime for people. Also in the summertime, we get called off of striping to go help on fires, to help direct traffic and keep the public moving as the best we can. Yeah, there's some long days, but I'm just here to help the public and do my job.
Can either of you talk about what you think might happen if these cuts go through?
We're both laid off.
So they're both laid off if these cuts go through, and then what do you think happens to the work that you do, that you just talked about?
It's going to be a lot of stress put on the people that are left, because we're already shorthanded. We run short. We have been running short.
There won't be the people to respond to the wrecks that happen. The maintenance just in general, the plowing won't be done, the sanding won't be done. The meg that is put down the road currently won't be there. There's a lot, we're a lot of times the first responders to a lot of the wrecks that happen, just because how rural government camp is. That's not going to be a thing anymore just because our staff is cut.
We often show up before the ambulances and the police to help family members of the public. They're not our family members, but we're there like they are our family. We take care of them, we help them, we keep them warm. We do whatever we can to make it comfortable. They're in a situation that's not good. It's winter driving conditions and people have accidents. So we help take care of them and support them.
This story is not a story that is just their story. It's a story that many of the folks up here could tell. It's a story that hundreds of other ODOT workers could tell. And right now, we clearly, workers need and want this package to pass because of what what was just shared, the work that's being done, the core infrastructure that ODOT provides. I want to be clear. ODOT workers are first responders, and no legislator has offered an alternative plan that makes sure that those first responders, that the public health and the safety of our roads is there if this package does not pass. And so the reality is we don't know folks have votes, but we want them to show up and look workers in the eyes as they take these votes like any boss would. These legislators hold these jobs in their hands, and they're refusing to show up. Folks got here at 7 a.m. this morning, rallied at 8. The Senate showed up at 9. They expected the House to be there at 11. They didn't show up. They expected the House to be there at 1. They didn't show up. They expected the House to be there at 3. They didn't show up. It's almost 4 o'clock, and they haven't shown up. There's not been a hearing. There's not been the next step. And these folks' jobs end on September 15th. If you're not here, you better have a reason why. Because whether you vote yes or no, you need to say to these folks why you couldn't show up and do their job, your job, when they're expected every day in the worst conditions to show up and do their job. So thank you for coming. Workers are not going to be able to be here all weekend because they have jobs. Oftentimes, folks at ODOT have second jobs. So they're not going to be able to be here all weekend waiting for these folks to show up. So we hope they show up now. But we're going to be watching every moment of the way because folks are sitting at home if they're not here, or they're sitting at work hoping that folks show up and do their job. So thank you for coming. We can take any quick questions before we head back and see if they're going to show up.
Yeah, quick question. We're hearing that one of the representatives preventing quorum right now, one of the representatives that's not here, is on a plane that is being delayed What is your response to that of representative flying back in on the day of a special session?
Yeah, I mean, we know that like this special session got called and people had other plans, and that was an accidental delay. When that person shows up, we hope they have quorum. We haven't actually been secured that that's true, and so right now we're just waiting because I think that, I know someone's rushing back and doing their best to get here. If that's what happens and they all show up, great. But if someone doesn't show up because they're just playing politics, that's what we're worried's happening, and that's why we're out here. We're worried that people are playing politics right now, and it's not about someone being delayed. If someone's delayed and they're going to show up here in the next 10 minutes, then more power. Let's get this thing done. Let's get this thing done. But I think we're worried that that's not the case right now. Any other questions? Yeah.
Have you heard from the governor's office at all?
We have had an opportunity. I think that they're continuing to try to figure out exactly what's going on too. So, we've had a couple conversations with some of the staff there to try to figure out, to be able to share information. But right now, we're kind of just waiting to see what happens because we haven't heard any additional information outside of they're supposed to be on the floor at 3:30, and now it's 4.
Have you spoken with House Speaker Julie Fahey today?
I have not spoken to House Speaker Julie Fahey today. Any other? Yeah.
It's not lost on me that this is Labor Day, and you're fighting for your jobs. I guess if I'd just like to give anybody the opportunity to add or talk about maybe what it means to give up this day, I guess, to be here on a weekend when you're kind of supposed to be, it's supposed to be sort of a celebration of the American worker.
Anyone have a comment? You want to, Donna over here, you have a comment on that? Or a comment at all? You can make a comment. Go ahead, Donna.
All of us took a day off. We applied for a leave day today from our supervisors and had to get approved for that to be here. I'm just begging for some integrity. I'm just begging for the legislature to be a leader whose actions match their words. They say they care about Oregonians, yet my team and I have to work together to solve problems or when we're approached to find a solution to something. I'm just begging for the legislature to please work together and let your actions show that you really care about Oregonians instead of partisan taglines.
And Donna, do you want to introduce yourself really quickly?
I'm Donna Ferry from ODOT.
And you were supposed to testify at the hearing today. She came, took the day off, has written testimony. It's very good testimony to be able to testify at the hearing today. That still has not happened. We don't know. It hasn't happened. So I think, but in response to your Labor Day question too, at some point in history, people decided that it should be a day that recognizes the hard work of frontline workers, and that we should celebrate the work that they do because so much of their work, maybe it's ODOT, maybe it's another place, is really hard. And they keep our economy moving, just like these folks keep our roads moving to keep our economy moving, to keep trucks going through. Workers are the folks who do that. And the idea that this was supposed to be a time where they could all come together because it was the time that fit into their vacations or their schedules, so everyone could get back. They had 2 months' notice. I don't know if you remember, but they have 45 minutes notice over here to show up for work. They had 2 months, 6 weeks notice to get here today. The fact that they couldn't do that on Labor Day to respect the workers, it just adds to this whole battle, but that's not it. This has been 2 months of dread. The 500 folks who are on this list, every day has been a different story, it's been like whether it's extended, whether there's a special session, whether it's going to pass. And so it just adds to it, and it just makes it just more acute that oftentimes the people who run our country or run our state are not looking out for workers. And that's what it feels like right now, because no matter what people are going to do, we're just asking people to be here.
And then I have one final question. I noticed many of you were able to go to the Republican press conference, and I'm just kind of curious on your reaction to their proposal too.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a reality. Is we have supported every package. Like we are not the policy wonks on this issue. There are some policy wonks on this issue, but we have been there trying to figure this out. And so, if there was a package that could pass, that would protect roads, that would actually make sure we're getting the work done, then we want to see that package. What we saw today was a bunch of different talking points. We saw a bunch of different ideas that have been thrown out that we don't think, I don't know, do they have majority support? Could they pass? Would they actually save jobs? Would they actually protect the roads? I don't know that, but that's not what it seems like. It seems like a tactic to try to make sure you're not talking about the issues that matter, which is, do you have a plan to protect the first responder system that ODOT provides? Do you have a plan to protect jobs? Do you have a plan to keep our roads safe? And does it have the votes to pass? Those are the questions we need to be asking right now, because we got 2 weeks before 500 people lose their jobs and the entire ODOT infrastructure is pretty much irreparable, and people will not be there when it snows this winter. So I think that's the way I thought about it. I think there's lots of stuff that they talked about, but I think the question is, do they have a plan and does it pass? Because that's right now what these folks are facing when they're deciding whether they have their jobs in 2 weeks. So that's a key part. Jason, I think, wanted to get in on that question though. So come on over, Jason. The mics are over here, Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa. Jason Lawrence again. Hi. I know you guys like the names. You know, I keep hearing the word compromise used by certain people, and it's just they're using that word as an excuse to continue to propose these insincere. It's just moving the goalposts, right? It's moving the goalposts, and it's distraction and disarray, moving the goalposts. If they had well-intended policy ideas and legitimate policy ideas, they'd be on the floor presenting them and debating them with their colleagues. And they're not. And they're just playing this ideological game where they just keep moving the goalposts, putting on the show, while our people suffer. And if this fails, which they're going to pop champagne and celebrate, all of you watching this, whoever sees this or hears this, you're going to be the ones that are hurting, especially if you're in rural communities or coastal communities when there's wildfires, weather, whatever. Entire highways will be unserviced and they will be closed and no one will be able to get to your communities. And some of the people refusing to show up represent your communities, and they're not here doing their job. But I promise you this, if they pass a bill, these guys will be there doing their job for you. And that's really the problem, is that they just want to keep moving the goalposts, and it's just, we need a compromise. This bill is a compromise. Political oversight, simplifying taxes for the trucking industry, killing the toll program, 50-30-20 split, I can go on and on. There's wins for everyone here. So don't just cancel all that noise if you're at home and you're hearing this. This is a compromise. And it funds our core mission, and that core mission is saving lives and protecting you and making sure you and your family can get around Oregon safely. So
I don't think I can say it better than that. So thank you everyone for coming. If people want individual questions or want to talk with someone, we can come over here and we can, if people have some individual questions, we're going to go back on the floor and hopefully they're going to have quorum here so that we can actually do the work that I think Oregonians expect and show up and do their jobs. So we're just asking people to show up and do their jobs just like all the folks up here do. So thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Hey guys,
That's right.
could I get you to
All right. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.